Hello and welcome to day number 11 for Star Series StarLadder, and we're gonna have ourselves a game between RoX.KiS and virtus.pro. One game between these two teams is all we shall see, but we will have 4 games today. We'll have 4 games on which we'll see virtus.pro, Empire, Na'Vi, no Tidehunter. That's right, we're gonna have a lot of good games today. This game on paper would put virtus.pro in favor, but we have seen RoX. They have beaten a lot of high-level teams, including Fnatic, one of the hardest team to beat at this moment. Not my words, by the way. But we'll see if they can do it again here. And before we're gonna go on with the draft, let's just take a quick look at what the standings are like right now. We have got ourselves L-Pride to virtus.pro, L-Pride, Fnatic, Empire, all on the same points. However, L-Pride and Fnatic have got the same points as Empire and virtus.pro with only 1 game less played, so they are on top of that one. So virtus.pro, 12 points for them right now. RoX have played 3 matches only and have won 2 of them and already have 6 points in their pocket. So already on the right path as well. And we're gonna see if they're gonna get an upset set again in Star Series. Or if virtus.pro is going to be on top with 15 points, because you get 3 points for each win. If you want to find out more about those points, you can of course go to StarLadder.tv and you can find out everything you want about that. If you just click the Dota 2 button, then go to League after you clicked on the British flag if you haven't done that before. And you'll find all the points right there, including the whole list of which team is participating in Star Series, also Pro Series or Amateur Series if you're interested in that, by the way. So let's see this game so far. We have got a Keeper of Light, Nyx Assassin, Wisp and a Batrider being banned out. Nothing really surprising, as we have virtus.pro picking up the Magnus as a first pick. Rubik, the first pick up by RoX, so it's already going to be having a potential to steal that reverse polarity. And I'm curious to see if we're going to see another Alchemist Lifestealer here. I mean, already the Magnus is a bit of a counter towards it. And a Lifestealer is still going to get picked up, but will that mean that there is going to be a Bane on virtus.pro? I mean, a Rubik against a Bane is already a clear sign that they have got something against that. I mean, you can just steal that Fiend's Grip because it is a channeled spell. So it's a fairly easy spell to steal if Rubik gets close enough. Gyrocopter and Bane would work out well together as well, by the way, of course, with a Nightmare followed up by a Rocket Barrage if Gyrocopter just moves close to the target. And with Nightmare there, he will have enough time to move actually towards his target without his target running away. Because that's of course annoying if it does that. If you're trying to kill someone and someone runs away, like, damn it. No, but that's that could be a good hero here for virtus.pro, but it all depends on if they run a risk having that Rubik steal that Fiend's Grip. It's just a risk you have to take. And with RoX already picking up the Lifestealer, I mean, they could even pick up the Bane for themselves, but they could also pick up that Alchemist, which we have seen. Can you please turn on the sound of your intro? Yeah, I will try, because I've been told that before. I will try, good point. I will try with the next game then. But yeah, Bane is indeed still on the pool, so RoX could pick it up unless they want to pick up the Alchemist. I mean, virtus.pro, in theory, they've got all 3 lanes ready. They have already given away, like, okay, you know what?
10 seconds remaining.
We're probably going to have the Magnus on the off lane. We're probably going to have the Gyrocopter on the safe lane, or vice versa, depending on if they're going to have an aggressive Trilon or not. And Queen of Pain mid, so all they need is support or a jungle hero, perhaps. So it's going to be very easy for RoX to ban out heroes against them. So if RoX wants to have another support, they better pick it up right now so that they can just have the freedom to ban out the rest without having any fear to ban out the support that they want to have. But of course virtus.pro knows how RoX actually beat Fnatic. I mean, I believe everybody knows that. So are they gonna ban out the Alchemist if RoX doesn't pick it up right now? That's the question. And that's also some question that probably RoX is struggling with. Do they want to pick up another support? Do they want to pick up a solo mid? I mean, we've seen, yeah, I was actually gonna say Puck to be banned out otherwise, but we've seen Queen of Pain taking it on versus a lot of heroes, but the one hero that can actually stand against her for a long time is the Puck. We've also seen an Alchemist solo mid, of course, by RoX, but it's one thing to try that once. And the last time we actually saw them going for the Alchemist safe lane still, so might still see it, as we have a lot of solo lanes being banned out by virtus.pro. It is the Darkseer as well as Nature's Prophet, 2 heroes that we do see on the long lane solo quite a bit. With the Bane, of course, being banned out by RoX still, just to not have to deal with that one as well as on Undying. So indeed, banning out those supports. Still all the jungle heroes in the pool, or at least all the conventional ones at least. Broodmother, another offlaner that virtus.pro doesn't want to deal with, and another support by RoX. So this is all fairly standard, fairly easy to be banning out for both teams. They knew what their opponents still needed, and they knew what they don't want to be having. It's a Clockwork that gets picked up by virtus.pro. Now this is interesting because it kind of says that Gyrocopter might be playing a support role, or the Magnus will. Because in theory, all 4 heroes, we feel that they need a lane for themselves. So what are they going to do? And it's also something, of course, that RoX is going to be a bit confused about. If that Gyrocopter is going to be playing a support, but if so, then is it going to be a Magnus farming or a Clockwork farming? It's all not very conventional. Is Magnus going to go into the jungle? Perhaps it is okay-ish to do it. And then Clockwork on the offlane. Clockwork works, of course, great against the Lifestealer, by the way. Those power cogs are pretty damn strong against him. I mean, he can rage whatever he wants to, but he can't get out of those power cogs. And I will keep pronouncing it like that, because that's the way I pronounce it. And I say power cogs with a G. So make all the puns you want. It's there. I'm not going to change it.
5 seconds
anyway,
remaining.
RoX, what are they going to pick up? And this is, by the way, the last time that they have. They only have 3 seconds left into their bonus time. They took so long with thinking about the puck that they have almost depleted their entire bonus time. So they pick up a Visage, a hero that we see most often in aggressive tri lane. So maybe we're gonna see something like that with a Visage, Rubik, and a Lifestealer, and then still a solo laning Alchemist on the bottom lane. I keep saying the Alchemist because every single time
10 seconds.
Or last 2 times that we saw RoX play. Was it the last 2 times? Or at least 2 times out of the 3 matches that they've played, they picked up the Alchemist. So that is why I'm kind of expecting it. It has worked out before. Maybe they can try to do it again. And of course, if they're gonna be having, like, this is a big if. If they're gonna be having a Blink Dagger and a Force Staff or whatever, they're gonna have everything they want for mobility on the Alchemist at least. That's what they did previous time. And then also a puck, of course, with a lot of mobility. Force Staff, Blink Dagger for him. They have a lot of pickoff potential. Teamfight, however, they don't really have that much just yet, and unless, of course, they steal something from virtus.pro, because they have plenty. They have a cooldown, a Sonic Wave, reverse polarity. I mean, if you have a reverse polarity into cooldown and Sonic Wave, I mean, I think RoX is gonna die. Plain and simple. The only one that could maybe survive that is a Lifestealer if he's raged. But then he'll be the only one left for his team, and that's not gonna be putting him in a good spot. So virtus.pro, thinking about their last pickup, they don't really have any real normal support just yet. So we could see them picking up something like a Venomancer still or something like that. We have seen Venomancer a lot more lately, and of course Venomancer is very decent against a Lifestealer, because of course that Gale, even if he rages, the slow is still going to stay on. And it's going to be a Vengeful Spirit indeed. That's a support that we haven't seen it for a while. It's a disable though. I mean, if you look at disables, you have a Magic Missile, Power Cogs, I'm going to call that a disable for now. You have a Homo Missile and a Reverse Polarity. And on RoX you basically only have that Dream Coil. That can be a bit of a disable. And the Telekinesis from Rubik, that's it. For the rest you only have slows. So let's see what RoX is going to be picking up. Is it going to be an Alchemist, or is it going to be a normal offlaner like a Windrunner or a Beastmaster or something like that? Better yet, Puck might even be on an offlane if they really wanted it to. And then a new solo mid lane is needed. Although I would expect Queen of Pain to be taking on the Puck. It's going to be a Bounty Hunter, so that's their offlane. No Alchemist this time, people. I'm so sorry to this point, but can't have it all. So Lifestealer and Bounty Hunter and Puck. Like I said, they have a lot of pickup potential with a Puck already there and a Bounty Hunter there now as well. But team fight, they're gonna have to need to steal something good there, because they are lacking on that. And we're probably gonna see them avoiding fights, trying to get pickups alone, avoid team fights, and then trying to take, of course, towers, etc. Take map control based on those pickups, not based on full five-man Dota team fights, as we sometimes see from people, as we might actually see from virtus.pro, because you know they've got a decent team fight potential lineup. By the way, these games for now, I believe it's only cast by me, but later on, I think maybe even next game already, will be also casted by Beyond the Summit, and then for the Na'Vi games we also have Toby. Though of course I will be casting everything regardless, so you can stick around here if you want to, but just so you're aware that later on there will be more options, as I do know that a lot of you people will like to have options. I mean, seriously, who doesn't like options, right? I like options. So let's see who's playing what. We have Santa playing the Magnus. It will be Airman on the Gyrocopter. NS will be playing the Vengeful Spirit. KSI is on the Clockwork, so it will be a semi-supporting Clockwork by the looks of it then. And then the last one is going to be Crazy, or Team I Wild if you will. He's going to be playing the Queen of Pain. And I will be going into that mid lane by the looks of it. It's going to be Cedo who's going to be taking on the off lane. Ooh, he's got a cool set. He does have a cool set. I don't have this set. It's a shame. Oh, I think I have the shoulder pads or something. No, I don't. Shame. Cool set for Cedo on this bounty hunter. Will be going to the offlane. No real surprise there. StarLadder will be on the puck. He'll be taking on the mid lane, taking on Crazy in the mid lane. It will be Basil's who's going to be playing his signature life stealer by now, I would say. It will be Yol on the Visage, and then last one, but not least, it's going to be Hardy with the set for the Rubik, and he will play that. And he actually donated a lot to his teammates. Did he donate it to Cedo? Yes, he did. Or at least part of it he did. I donated a set of tangos and Basil's. No, it's all his own. All his own. Maybe pocket some extra stuff. No, all his own also. So if you're wondering where's the first blood going to be, it's either going to be this one, where they would have a sentry ward already ready from an S to, yeah, there it is, to counter Cedoy. And he has to be very careful with that. And they're already going to sit around waiting for him to show up. There's going to be cogs to make sure he can't get away. There's going to be a stun to start things off with, just so KSI can get a range. And Hardy is just going to be in the jungle. He had the double damage and was able to clear out at least one of the golems. And he's just going to make sure that there's not going to be a pool. And now they realize where he is. One more hit. Boom. Cedo gets his first batch of gold. And it will not be hit in the cogs. Ooh. He is totally out of mana now, though. That's trouble for him. That is trouble for him. And he doesn't have a clarity, so no invis for him. It's going to be a tough time if he can't be getting an experience range right there. But then again, it might actually be the thing that saves his life, because if he goes in range right now, even if he had an invis, he is going to be caught out, and he might actually be the result of the first blood, or the result of the first blood, the spiller of first blood, I should say. So Queen of Pain, 3 for 3 right now. StarLadder, 5 for 1. In theory though, this lane should be very even. This lane normally comes down to it really is the mind game for these two. I mean, the spell animations that Puck can dodge, the baiting out of the phase shift by Crazy. It's just all mind games between these two, and of course the harassment from both sides can be pretty annoying. And is he gonna be teleporting to his orb or not, etc. As we're gonna see Cedo exchanging some blows with the Vengeful Spirit, but they're not gonna be going in for it right now. As we have actually Santa, he's doing the whole jungling with Magnus thing, as we have seen. I think we've seen YouTube videos of that. He's just gonna be able to stand here and land shockwaves, and not gonna be harassed at all. I mean, he can attack these creeps without getting attacked, apart from the ranged creeps right here. Like you see him slowly ticking down. He's actually already out of regen. But it is something that he can of course do. We're gonna see his levels tick up very slowly, but it will be okay-ish. I think he'll be level 6 at around minute 7 or so. He might not be able to outlevel the mid lane, of course, but he'll not do bad. And I think actually he might be able to outlane Cedoy. So that's gonna be him, because he thinks like, you know what, I'm not gonna be able to stand alone on the bottom lane anymore, because I mean, there's a lifestealer there by himself, that would be fine, but then again, there's 2 heroes here as well. Visage, who has his strong point right now. Oh, can he reach him? This could be big, but he realizes he's there, but he is like completely locked in. He's cowered up from the low ground, and he is stuck until he has mana. And Cedo will just be standing around here. He knows that there's there. Well, how frustrating can it be? You know that there's like a free kill on top of that hill, but you can't reach it. But yeah, Visage is the hero that is normally strongest on the lane. But it looks like she won't have a laning phase at all, and she won't have an opponent in the laning phase anyways. So she'll be having a tough time proving her worth, but we're gonna see how Yol does with it anyway. I mean, Visage is considered one of the harder supports in the game, purely because of her familiars, or his familiars. His? I think it's a his. But yeah, he is, his familiars, they don't follow the normal pathing. They of course fly over trees and over hills and stuff, and that makes him harder to control than other heroes, as we're gonna see. The Invis rune picked up by Yol. I don't think he can do anything against Crazy though, like you need to kind of disable for that, and he doesn't have it. You see that Crazy, you notice he getting blocked here, realize he doesn't have the, yeah, the rune, and blinks himself into safety. Very safe. In the meantime, on the bottom lane, we do have some harassment. KSI actually joining in. Level 3 for him right now. And able to push the lane slightly back. Basil's is of course going to continue last hitting, etc. He is actually doing best of all right now. He's 31 for 7. With of course his counterpart, the Gyrocopter, on 27 for 13. So it is still Lifestealer slightly in favor, but it's not that much. It's not by that much. I'm actually going to be checking on the gold graph. It is in favor of RoX. Apparently they are doing slightly better on the last hits also in the jungle perhaps. 25 for the puck with, oh, this might, no. 25 for the puck and 17 for Crazy on the Queen of Pain. So it is actually the mid lane that makes most of the difference, I would say. The rest is just fairly even. With still Leaner jumping his bottle to the courier that's going to be flying towards him right now. And Queen of Pain out of regen as well, waiting for her bottle to be returned. And she also sent it with the courier. 33 matches viewed. And 40 matches viewed. It is RoX.KiS that takes the win in the courier battle. My god, Pokemon battle with couriers. But yeah, it's fairly even, and again, if I were to guess now the first blood, considering that we do see Cedo just being very safe, he's level 3 only, so that's like the result of him being safe, but you know, you have to give something for not giving the first blood. Phase shift, Crazy. He has got his level 6, but he doesn't have any mana. So this is something that could be indeed also be the first blood right here, purely because they are reaching their levels where they're feeling more confident with their abilities, and they're feeling like they have got this kill mechanism with the Sonic Wave with the Dream Coil, that they can just get a kill with that. Unless we're gonna have rotations and they're gonna have help from teammates, which would also be giving them the kill potential. With Bounty Hunter coming in as well as the Clockwork. I mean, the Flare will be helping out. Level 7 up on the puck. Crazy still level 6. But both of them have an empty bottle. Though Puck of course is filling it right now with his courier. And the courier will do the same thing on the Queen of Pain. Puck will have his one back before the Queen of Pain though. And they are not gonna go in without a full bottle. So if we're gonna see Puck going in with a full bottle, she'll be faster than the Queen of Pain. Cedo in the meantime, he is finally back on the top lane, able to get some experience right here as Airman and Ines pushing into the tower slightly. Is it gonna be... oh, he's just boarding. I was gonna say maybe a rune. No, just boarding. Has got a full bottle again, but Queen of Pains is gonna be on his way as well. Cedo has to be careful. There's still a ward upon Ines. He still has that one sentry ward that he started off with. So as soon as they see potential, they will be going for him. But for now, he's just going to be very super safe. And we're going to maybe see just only the mid game having some action here, because this is basically the only place, apart from the top lane, where of course Cedo is being safe and all that, this is the only place where people are actually seeing each other and having basically some kind of kill potential. And yeah, I think Puck is the she, even though she's probably an it. It is probably an it. Anyways, yeah. Enough to talk about genders of heroes. We also have Magnus. Magnus is still doing Magnus-y stuff. I mean, he's still stuck with the trees, and he's still doing nothing. Dream Coil, Queen of Pain, Telekinesis. That's the first blood. Hardy coming in. Just when I was checking up on Santa, because Santa, I mean, he has been doing the same thing constantly. I just want to point that out again. I mean, I said at the start what he's doing, but he is just continuing to do that, and he is so absolutely safe. Only Puck could come in to try and kill him at some point. But then there will be a skewer to the low ground and he'll be just fine. And Magnus is level 5. He's leveling faster than the offlaners of the teams. Because the Bounty Hunter is still level 4, Clockwork still level 4. And Bounty Hunter, with that experience that he came, by the way, is actually ahead right now up on for KSI compared to him. By illusion. That'll teach him. And crazy. Of course, the first one to die, it is actually Puck that is rotating most right now. He's actually on the top lane, seeing if he can help out. There is the cooldown that came down to harass Tito. He won't be getting the kill, but they might be able to get Airman in return. Doesn't look like it though. The silence wasn't there, or wasn't at the right place, and a Dream Coil still on cooldown rather from killing off Crazy earlier. Rotation coming in on the bottom lane. KSI is gonna be ganked. Yule coming in there. He's gonna be starting things off with open wounds. There goes a Grave trying to get away, and there is a nuke, but is it gonna be enough? It is not, because here comes Santa. Level 5 only, but it doesn't matter. He wants to go for his level 5 counterpart, Yule. But Yule will be just able to TP out of that place, and with the massive team support incoming for the Clockwork, that is not gonna amount to a kill, and it is Basil's that is, oh, it almost looks like he's limping, but that's just the way he walks. And he is going to be eating some creeps and getting some extra gold there. He has got his Hand of Midas, so is going to be pulling ahead on the golden experience right there. And I will be putting on the net worth, because that's just a bit more interesting right now than just the last hits and a nice. We do see Gyrocopter being very high up on there as well, as he is of course also he was still free farming on the top lane. And they stacked some jungle creeps for him, which is very nice. They're also stacking ancients for him, so also them will be able to, or they will be able to be taken care of by airmen. And of course we know that Gyrocopter with his flak cannon, he can do that really fast, so it will be a big spike in his gold right there when he starts going for that, as StarLadder picks up an Invis rune. Let's see if he can get a support kill with that. NS coming in. Dream Coil is of course there. There's a silence first. Dream Coil as well. And is there going to be an orb? Just one more hit. It's the orb that does it. And the phase shift helps dodge the flare. Nice solo kill by StarLadder. And Crazy couldn't do anything apart from just trying to take some extra last hits in his mid lane. If you compare those two with each other, based on net worth, it is quite a big difference. It's almost 1k gold difference right now, with of course 2 kills on the side of StarLadder, and he is of course got the first blood, so get the extra gold from that. But it's still pretty big difference for solo mids to be having amongst each other. So Crazy is gonna try to make it right. He's gonna try to help out for a kill up on Lifestealer, but Lifestealer is one of those heroes that has a built-in rage, built-in PKP. And they're gonna actually go on Santa. There goes the telekinesis, the skewer, telekinesis in the middle of a skewer shockwave going out that just got stolen. And that's gonna be a clear kill for the Rubik. And here comes Yol. Gonna be able to nuke down Crazy, but he blinks himself away.
Radiant's top tower is under
Nice soul assumption there. Soul assumption that he got from the aggression up on Santa, of course. I did like the telekinesis in the middle of the skewer. And of course we just saw the shockwave being stolen. That was Hardy getting level 6 by the way. In the meantime, top lane gonna get some support. Tito gonna have some trouble. Tower already goes down. Second ward is still there. And S gonna get tracked up. Gonna be getting chased down as well, as it's StarLadder that backs himself off. Tito though might still be able to get something. Alas! And S turns around, still goes down, but it doesn't matter. A kill on the hard lane. 4 kill for support. I would say that they're still, yeah, that's definitely in favor of virtus.pro. They picked themselves up 3 heroes, with also picking up the Visage that TP'd in there. Great fight for virtus.pro, as they just baited out everything. And of course the chase for NS was a bit too much. They should have just backed off, and then they would be just fine. Their tower was already down already anyways, and it would have been okay. But all of a sudden virtus.pro, they take it back, and that's gonna put the experience graph a bit more towards the 0 line. It was of course going in favor of RoX, but virtus.pro now taking it back, and it should be dropping a bit more, I think. Well, basically it should be dropping a bit more purely for the time that RoX is not able to farm right now, so they're missing out on some experience. But we're gonna see how far it's gonna drop. In the meantime, the gold graph is also of course dropping down. That is not only because of those kills, of course, that is also because of the tower that just went down on the side of RoX. It's the first tower to go down on the map. And the first tower, of course, going to virtus.pro there, as we have NS just continuing to help his teammate by stacking the Ancients. And it will be Airman that will be very happy with that, as we had a bit of lag there, but that's all fine. That was just inside the game client. Looked like Yol's gonna be getting some levels up in here. Has got his level 6, or has got his familiars ready. Will of course be having a disable extra with that. I mean, that's something that RoX, I said it at the start during the draft already. It's something that RoX is not really rich on, but familiars, they do have that disable. If you you know, land it properly, like literally land them properly. BKB is going to be built up by Airmen, and it's probably going to be complete, maybe after this Ancient stack. Should be, I think. I mean, it's just so much gold laying around here. It is really a lot. I'm just going to check. He had almost no gold when he started doing this. So we're just going to see. Look at this gold! Hello, BKB. That's him already. As we have Yol, he's gonna go down also. Skewer helping out, but Crazy's still getting the last hit. And that was just a slight overextension, or at least, well, there's a ward up here by the dire side, and having everybody around here safe, or, you know, Airman needs to be safe when he takes these Ancients, and he needs to be protected, so that's why virtus.pro was around there, and, you know, Yol kind of was the one to pay for that, so all of a sudden, kill score going 4 for 4. And virtus.pro getting the later kill, so getting a bit more ahead with that. We do, of course, have still a life stealer that is still happily farming. Like, that's a big difference. Because, of course, Basil's was there for the kill on the Magnus. But other than that, he's not really been there. So, it has basically been 4 on 5 for RoX, as we have got KSI escaping from the hands of Seedoy, who has got himself, the poor man shield still actually had that at the start. He almost got himself the drums complete, so that's his item of choice. Going for a bit of an aura build, if you will. Might be going for Vlads later, though having said that, I do know that Basil doesn't really need a Vlads per se. It's still quite nice to have though on your team. If you really want to, We have an armlet, of course, also complete. We just saw that on Basil's. So I'm kind of curious to see when he's actually going to be starting to mingle a bit more into to team fights. And starting to help out his team in team fights. Even though I did also say during the draft, and after the draft also, that team fight wise, virtus.pro, they are the ones that are ahead. Airman is just going to farm some jungle. He has got his BKB now. He's got 1100 gold already again. And he is being on par right now with the lifestealer. Being on par with Basil's. StarLadder, I'm not sure what he is thinking about doing. He, of course, is going for his Blink Dagger, by the way. He can't really get in too close because there is a swap just around the corner. If he does, of course, he can phase shift and orb himself out, etc., etc. But you kind of rather not want to be put into danger to begin with, so. Has to be careful. Though he, of course, scouted out with that orb that there is no longer a Vengeful Spirit around there. Vengeful Spirit is going to be continuing her job as Ancient Stacker. Yay! Of course, that is something that you can normally have done by just a Helm of the Dominator. So at some point, maybe NS will be relieved of duty and will be doing that. As NS is going to be getting a track up on him. And is going to be going towards back towards the tower with that one. Seedoy, of course, was expecting that. But at least he's gonna make sure that NS is indeed gonna be going towards his tower. And he is, of course, also the one with the sentry wards. Familiars coming in from the side. It is NS that sees them, though. And they're gonna try to scout up the courier. Nah, courier's gonna be just fine. Oh, the hunt is on. Yeah, okay, that's that. Sorry. Meantime, Silence and Dream Coil up on Crazy. Orb flies through. Telekinesis there and a track. And that is still going to be a cold puck. Gets the kill with the Dream Coil tick going through with that. And of course, that was a track kill. So very nicely done for RoX. As that is, of course, something that from now on out, from here on out actually, is going to be... for RoX.KiS, like if they're exchanging kills, they're going to be coming ahead purely because of that track hold. If the tracks are, of course, on. At the same time... Do you really want to be caught out in a team fight and exchange kills if you know that your opponent team has a reverse polarity into a cooldown into a Sonic Wave? I don't really think so. Tier 1 tower gonna be harassed here a bit, but we'll be staying alive. The TP is actually coming to defend it in the meantime. Also is Airman that's continuing to push top lane and also, of course, continuing to farm. And he is gonna go for a Helm of the Dominator, so we'll be giving NS a bit of more freedom to do what he actually wants to do rather than just stacking Ancients, of course. Quite surprised to see that RoX hasn't placed a ward around here just to stop this from happening, especially since they already noticed that it was happening with NS just roaming around there. But yeah, we'll see if they're at some point gonna do that. Meantime, Tier 2 tower, it's gonna be taking a lot of harassment, but now Seedoy being forced out of the lane. Fortification actually goes off for this, and a TP from Seedoy because he doesn't want to walk. It's gonna go too slow. There is, however, a sentry ward. It's gonna disappear. Actually, it's on the wrong side even as well. Sentry ward countering wards. Talking about wards, actually, most of the wards on the map, and all the wards on the map, are actually in favor of RoX. They've got a ward right here, so if there's gonna be a kill up on Santa, they know where to go. They know that they can get them. But yeah, the familiars were visible right there, so Santa saw those. They've got wards around here. And of course, we already saw the wards here as the cooldown comes down. Rock Mirage as well. Seedoy, trouble for him. StarLadder phase shifted out of damage, but is still gonna get killed off here. And that flak cannon is just doing the works. That's a triple kill for Airman. And can he make it an ultra kill? Here's the question. Basil's is gonna be the last one alive. Shockwave to go through. Homing missile is gonna hit as well. Speed of Pain bites back. He was the one that did go down. Reverse polarity and ultra kill for Airman, with the only one that didn't die was the one that was still on the bottom lane. And it was Yol. And that's all for the prize of a Queen of Pain and a Vengeful Spirit. And they got a tier 2 tower on top of that as well. So Airman just showing off why Gyrocopter is considered one of the more annoying carries. If not, well, I mean, he can be considered a hard carry. He is a bit of a hard carry, of course. But he is also a very annoying carry, because with that flak cannon, I mean, you really... The only thing you really can do to stop that from going through is just run at this stage of the game. Just run. And that is not what they did, or at least not fast enough. RoX.KiS losing 4 heroes there, and all of a sudden, I mean, what's happening is exactly as what expected. We have got the ganks going the way of RoX. They have been picking up a couple of heroes. They're picking up heroes, you know, in general. That's good. And then team fights are going the way of virtus.pro. And so far, it's 1 kill now in favor of virtus.pro. The question is, when are teamfights gonna prevail on ganks, and what is more useful? I mean, at some point we might see virtus.pro just going 5-man Dota and just go, you know, straight mid, pick up all the towers and just say, you know what, we're gonna teamfight you unless, or we're gonna take a tower. Teamfight or take tower. Basically one option that you have right then. And at that point, RoX cannot do really that much against it unless they can pick up heroes beforehand, so that virtus.pro actually decides not to go towards the tower to begin with, because they don't have 5 heroes yet. And when they don't have 5 heroes, they're not at full strength, and it's always not nice to fight 4 on 5. One thing, of course, is that this was the first fight that Basil's actually was in. He did die. He did also pick up a kill. So he does have that one. And he's got himself a Desolator complete, so that might make a change to the next team fight. I mean, his rage was still there, but it really didn't really do that much. And of course he was locked back into those cogs as well, as we already discussed that he really doesn't have a way out of there, if he is indeed stuck in that one. Cedo in the meantime has died twice. Has not really got that much farm. I mean, if you look at his net worth, it's just under the clockwork. We have the gold grab, of course, going away of virtus.pro, with the towers going their way. Actually, multiple 2 towers in their favor, and 1 kill now in their favor as well. Track goes off on Airman, but with that flak cannon, he's just able to harass everybody out of the lane. And it's going to be bottom lane where virtus.pro is going to be laying down some pressure, with now Airman also flying towards the bottom lane. TP's incoming though. RoX, they want to defend this, but can they do that? There's a reverse polarity once again. There is a sonic wave. There is a cooldown. There is anything that you can really think of on the side of RoX. But there's gonna be an infested lifestealer that's gonna be getting some kind of team fight potential up for the puck, for RoX in general. He needs to be there with the fight though, if they really want to do something about it. But looks like they're just gonna give up their tower. They are just gonna give up their tower. Gonna see if they can take a tower in return. As Basil says, thank you for the ride, let's now get the tower down. So they're trading tier 1 towers. Tier 1 tower bottom already down, and maybe virtus.pro can actually get themselves a tier 2 on top of that one. The tower already down mid as well. We're gonna see which one is gonna be faster. Of course, that also were the 7 stacks familiars helping out, which now have 0 stacks left. Fortification goes off for the Dire. There's no fortification left for RoX, so they're gonna just have to take this like a man. And we're gonna see both towers being picked up. So that's a tier 1 and a tier 2 for tier 1 and a tier 2. I don't think it's gonna be going towards a base race, but if it is, it's RoX that TP's back, with now also virtus.pro backing off. They really didn't want to go for that just yet. Mechanism, by the way, up on Santa, so he has that one complete. As we have got NS on 1k gold, TPing towards a tier 2. Just doesn't want to be standing around in the jungle anymore. It might not be the most useful TP, but he just wants it, and to be in time, of course, for the stack, which he's now plenty in time of. And I mean, if as a support you're gonna stick around in your enemy jungle, it's not really all the safest place to be at. So it's really better safe than sorry. 1300 gold up on Basil's, as the courier is gonna bring something. It is gonna be bracers. Hardeve, bracer build. He's got himself 2 bracers. Well, isn't that nice? He's been in 5 kills out of the 7, by the way. He's been doing a good job. He has only died once so far. And Roshan apparently for virtus.pro is going to be the game for them. Or at least a target. The familiar scouted it out though, so they know that that's going on. The question is, are they going to be trying to contest it, or are they going to try to take something in return, like 2 tier 1 towers? I say 2, because the bottom lane might be able to get it as well, as the tier 2 or tier 1 already was a bit lower here. Did I say tier 2 for the top one? I meant the tier 1. Oh wells. But yeah, it's going to be 2 tier 1s. It's going to be 2 tier 1s. That's why I said 2. It's going to be 2 tier 1s. So 2 tier 1s for Roshan. The question is, which is going to be more useful? I think it's going to be good for RoX. I mean, I don't think they could have contested it, not with a team fight that's there on virtus.pro. And this way, at least, RoX can get some solid farm up, and they can get some, like, their core items a bit more up. I mean, we do have, of course, Basils is doing nice. Hardeeve has got bracers. Visage is having his urn ready, but other than that, he's, you know, still building towards his threads. And for example, Mechanism is not there yet on RoX. And what's important, if you're going to be up against a team that's going to team fight you, that's right, Mech and Pipe. And RoX doesn't have either of those, and doesn't even show signs of building it right now. So that's going to be putting them at a very big disadvantage, should they be actually caught out in a team fight like they were earlier. It's really going to be tough for them. Butterfly now up on Airman. He is on fire. He is not died yet. He has been on 7 out of the 8 kills that have been done for his team so far. And now picks up the last tier 1 tower, standing in the game on the side of RoX, or at least standing in the game in general as well, of course. Tier 2 tower top is going to be going down as well, so that's something that RoX is still going to get. As there's a... well, towers are still even, I have to say. With Airman now bashing on the tier 2 middle, and the tier 2 bottom still being bashed on as well by Seedoy. Bit of harassment coming out on the tier 3 here, but there's already coming so much support in, and the hook interrupt the TP. Hardeeve is going to be the one that won't be able to get away, gets a stun, and goes down at the same time, or at least a bit earlier. It was Crazy that actually picked up Seedoy. He had, of course, the Orchid completed by then, and he had, well, Seedoy had no chance to escape. Of course, if you're silenced, you're gonna be not able to go invisible, and they could pick him up in that time. And they even used the reverse polarity to take him down, just because they could. Santa thinking, you know what, these people, they don't want a team fight. Well, I'll make them fight. I'll use that reverse polarity up on one hero if I have to, and he did. So that's all good. As item-wise, the supports from virtus.pro definitely look a bit more solid than the ones from RoX. We do have the Ghost Scepter up on an S. With the Gyrocopter, we already saw him. He's now got a Boots of Travels as well, so he's doing really nice for himself. Actually cancels it just because he can. He has the Boots of Travels anyway. It's going to be Magnus, who we already saw. He's going to be going for a Blink Dagger next to actually force out a bit more of the team fights that he really wants to have. As we already see a Ghost Scepter as well up on KSI, and by the looks of it, he's going to go for an Aghanims, as this very nice clockwork as well to just hook towards everything on the map basically. Blink Dagger now up on Santa, and I just realized that I said, should say something, but I've forgotten again. What? Yes, I did. That sucks. Oh yeah, so I was gonna say that Ghost Scepter is of course really nice against the Lifestealer. That's why we see people picking it up. I mean, the moment that Basils is indeed gonna be in fights, you want to be able to do something against him, because he's still gonna be hurting if he hits you, and you know what better way to deal with that is just to make sure that he can't hit you by picking up a Ghost Scepter. And of course the last one on items, we already saw the Orchid build up by Crazy. We saw him having the Oblivion Staff earlier, so that's going to be his item of choice, just to have a bit more control. I mean, you're dealing with a puck, Escape Artist 101, so if one thing that you want to be able to do is to make sure that he can't use his spells, so that he can't escape. And that's of course the Orchid that's going to be helping out with that. 2700 gold up on Basils. He picked himself up the Demon's Edge. They're going to be going for that MKB to be dealing with the Airmen, because of course, I mean, that evasion is going to be pretty annoying until you can deal with that. Yeah, virtus.pro, they seem pretty okay with just farming up in the meantime. One more tower left on the map, bar of course tier 3 towers, and it's going to be the one that Airman is going to be showing himself at. With the flak cannon able to push everything back. Seedoy actually standing around here. He might be able to get picked up. Home Missile is going to hit on StarLadder. Are they going to go on this? Because they also have Hardeeve around there. But no, everybody TP's out. Everybody TP's out. Wow, they are scared. They are. Flare going to hit a mid. And I mean, the ward control right now for virtus.pro is pretty much just to try and see if they can shut RoX in their base. And they're doing good. Yeah, they're still a Home Missile flying towards this guy here. Oh, he worked so hard to like, Airman worked so hard to send that rocket on its way, and it flew like all across the map. And when it gets there, he gets a knight. Boom, because it can. So let's see what virtus.pro can be forcing out on this bottom lane with the blink reverse polarity, with the sonic wave. They have everything up on the side of virtus.pro, and they're gonna be going for the tower first. There's no fortification, and they can just stand there. Flat gun is still there. As soon as there's more people around there, he's gonna turn on his flat gun, and there he goes. Familiar's already dead. 200 extra gold for Airman, and that's gonna be the tower for Airman as well, because, you know, he's already filthy rich, so why not make him extra filthy rich? Home missile again for StarLadder, is gonna be able to dodge that one as well. Has got himself a lifestealer in him, as the barracks will go down. 3,500 gold up on Airman already again. And I've RoX said they feel like they can't do anything against this. And I don't blame him. I mean, if you're gonna go in, there's gonna be a reverse polarity waiting for you, and that is virtus.pro just healing up again. And they're backing off not because they're forced to, no, they're just backing off thinking, you know what? We got what we came for, let's do the same thing on the top lane, or on the mid lane, after pushing out the lanes once more. So that's gonna be their play, as there's 4,200 gold up on the Gyrocopter. Curious to see what he's gonna go for next, if he's just gonna finish up a Satanic, or gonna be doing something crazy like Rapier or something like that, as we do see Gyrocopters go for quite a bit, because with that flat cannon, I mean, yeah, it's just really strong. And I mean, he hasn't died yet anyway, so why not? Why not, I ask you? As Santa is now the one to take the Ancients down instead of Airman. Airman is rich enough anyways, so it's gonna be Santa picking up the gold right here. As we're gonna see what RoX can do. I mean, they need to pick up some heroes there. Side the Vise up on the puck. They might be able to get them. Yeah, blink in up on Airman. Dreamcone going down as well, and that is Airman going down for the first time in this game. Basil's picking him up, and those kind of kills are the ones they need a lot more of, because without them, they are not gonna be pulling ahead right here. Especially not with one lane of Rax already down. 64 seconds without Airman. Now he's definitely having a buyback, or at least he has it, as we have got Joel. What? For a second there I thought, where's the Sonic Wave going to? It's gonna be Joel going down as well as the Rubik, so that's two supports being picked off. In favor of virtus.pro. And forcing back the rest of RoX, of course, because if there's gonna be four heroes on knocking on your door in the mid lane, and that's reason not to continue pushing top, even though StarLadder is looking for a way. And again, maybe he's going to be able to find Santa again. Should be able to. Should be able to. They need to have vision though. He doesn't have it. Like, there's no vision whatsoever on the map now for RoX bar these two. And I mean, they are able to see something, but they're not able to see heroes. And that flare actually scouted StarLadder off, so they know where he is right now. And StarLadder, of course, saw that flare flying as well, so he's not going to be sticking around that much longer either. In the meantime, of course, Joel and Hardy are going to continue forcing back the lane on the bottom lane. StarLadder just waiting, seeing, can he get something? He needs to. Like, this team, this combination right here, is the combination that is supposed to be doing it for RoX. No other choice. No other choice whatsoever. At least, oh, well, I guess unless Rubik steals a reverse polarity or something like that, and it gets a great one off, and then Puck comes in. But, you know, that's hard to do, because so far, the reverse polarities have been used at the end of each fight. And blink in, crazy, dead. Wow, that goes fast. MKB complete. I mean, the potential is definitely there. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's definitely got a lot of potential for these players to pick off heroes. I mean, it goes fast. As soon as there's only one. I mean, that's gotta be it. And that was, by the way, Gem of Truth head on the floor, right? Yeah. It was denied, I think. Unless Cedoy picked it up. But I don't think so. Nah, they just got denied. Roshan is gonna be up again soon. 2 minutes before it's up. As we see virtus.pro just looking for some way of going in as well. I mean, right now, with these heroes being picked off, RoX is buying time for themselves. I mean, without 5 heroes, virtus.pro is not going to be really forcing an issue anywhere on any of the lanes to be trying to go for a team fight or something like that. So their goal is to either do the same thing, like pick someone up, like Hardy, can StarLadder reverse polarity up onto Shockwave going down, but here comes the Lifestealer, and that is already Santa going down. Now Airman turns on his BKB, Basil's man fight. But it is Airman that backs off. Now Basil's has to wait for his rage to come up. Gets swapped out. Cedo's still going down. And that is gonna be Basil's also going down. Triple kill going the way of Airman. 4,600 gold. But the only one going down for Santa. It looked good for RoX for a second there. And you saw how long Basil's could be staying alive against Airman. Just 1 versus 1. Like right click versus right click, and it was Airman that was backed off first, but then the rage ended, and then Lifestealer was all of a sudden vulnerable to all this other stuff from the rest of the teammates of virtus.pro, and then he was the one that got swapped back. Of course, goes through rage, so he couldn't really escape with the rage either, but it's still pretty dangerous. Or it was still pretty close before that. Anyways. Fortification forced out, as well as a buyback for Basil's. So that's going to be 1800 gold up on Basil's as he's using his Hanamitis once again. Let's see what he's going to go for next. If he's going to be going for a heart or something like that. I mean, he does take a lot of damage when he's not out of rage. And of course, there's also quite a bit of disable then, or at least with the Vengeful Spirit, the magic missile. I mean, it should not be underestimated. It's almost 2 seconds disable, and that's a lot. That is really a lot. As we have got a smoke off for RoX. Let's see what they can get done with this. They need to get some sort of pickups. They know that Roshan is being attempted right now by virtus.pro, and they know that they're gonna have to go past the clockwork right here because they already saw him. There's a track going off. Blink in. Sheep, you're gonna go for it. Sullian already being stunned up though. Here comes Crazy. Cooldown coming down again. Santa getting swapped out into safety by NS. And it's gonna be Airman that already got himself a double kill. Gonna go for a triple with Hard Eve. One more hit away from dying, I think. Can he get it? He should be able to. The track speed, not enough. Crazy actually kill stole that one. Wow, not really kill stole. And it is Cedo, that's the last one alive there. And he is not gonna be able to defend his base against the power that's gonna come in from virtus.pro and the rest of RoX. They know it. They call it GG. It will be virtus.pro that gets themselves in total of 15 points for StarLadder Star Series right now. They put themselves on top of the list for the rankings with RoX.KiS sticking on 6 points with their 4 matches played for this right now. They had 3 before and now 4. With of course virtus.pro, they played 7 matches, 15 points in total right now. And we're gonna be seeing another game after this one with another headline team, I would say. It is Empire taking on Foda. Of course, that's going to be followed up by the matches that I think a lot of you people are waiting for. It's going to be No Tidehunter taking on Na'Vi. That's actually the latest one, but first, before that, it's still going to be virtus.pro taking on Na'Vi. So 2 Na'Vi matches after Empire versus Foda. Stick around for all of those matches, as also I'm sure you want to know that the matches for Na'Vi are actually going to be casted not just by me, but also by Toby, as well as by Beyond the Summit. So you can tune into either of those two, as well as, of course, you can stick with me. I'm going to be trying to get a co-caster, still trying to force Mini into doing it, but he's of course waiting if he's having some scrims. There's a lot of scrims going on, so, and a lot of matches as well. As of course by that time also it is the EMS Cup number 3 that has started at that time, so that's gonna be that. Anyway, enough talking. We're gonna jump ourselves into another match. Oh, still gonna talk a bit, because if you want to support me, you can do so by subscribing to my YouTube, which is youtube.com/SheeverGaming. You can also follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/SheeverGaming. Facebook.com/SheeverGaming, Twitch.tv/SheeverGaming. So that's all that. Let's jump ourselves into Empire versus Foda. Stick around for another good match of Dota 2, I would hope. And, yeah, stick around.